My name's Kim Wagner. I am based in beautiful far north Queensland, Australia.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Herstory TV and the Herstory podcast. This is Gertrude Mache here in beautiful Wellington, New Zealand, and I am graced with the presence of yet another fascinating lady. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our tribe. Please tell everybody your full name, where you're based, how old you are, and share your story with us today.
Thanks, Gertrude. Thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. My name's Kim Wagner. I am based in beautiful far north Queensland, Australia, and I am 49 years old. So my story started when I was around 31. My mother died when I was 6 months pregnant with my son. So my story starts with sadness and loss. And backtracking that a little bit, my dad had died 15 months earlier of cancer as well. So clearly I was going through some stuff, as you do when you're going through that kind of loss. My concern at the time was for my unborn child because I was 6 months pregnant. I was really concerned that what I was feeling, which was completely natural, was going to affect my baby. So I did speak to my doctor at the time, my obstetrician, and he said, no, the baby's fine. It's no problems at all. He's not, or she's not affected. So fast forward a few months later, and my son was born. And whilst he was born healthy, he certainly had some issues. So my instincts were right. That, along with the fact that I lost both parents to cancer so young, because they were 56 and 59, and there was no reason, we had no genetic reason, there was no family history. It started me on this journey of discovery and looking into what can affect our health and why people who have been seemingly from healthy families can get sick and have these degenerative diseases. And along that journey, of course, was the issue with my son because he had some big emotional issues. It was very confusing for me at the time because internet was kind of new. There wasn't really any information out there. So I just searched and helped him sort of as much as I could. So along my journey, I started looking at more environmental factors. So environmental as in within ourselves as well. So the environment that we live in affects our bodies, it affects our cells, it affects our mind. And it just really proved to me or showed me that everything that we do is connected. So we're not a body part that's not well, and then we're not a brain that has got mental health issues. We are all connected. So everything relates to everything else and everything is connected. So my journey continued along with lots and lots of research and going down rabbit holes. And I joined a Buddhist group about 12 years ago, and my Buddhist nun introduced me to a book that was written by Dr. Bruce Lipton, which was The Biology of Belief. And he was the first person that introduced me to the hard science that what I was experiencing was real. So the environment of our cells is actually our thoughts and our perception. And that was a huge light bulb moment for me because he also was the one that discovered and published that we are not our genes. We have the ability to change our genes. We are not basically born with this set of genes and that's our life and that's our blueprint and, oh, well, whatever. So there was a lot of research in that, and it was a really big light bulb moment for me because it meant that I had full control over myself, my body, my destiny, my family. I could change things to improve my health, and I didn't have to go down the same path as the rest of my family, I guess. And it gave me the freedom to choose the life that I wanted. So a few years passed, and I was listening to an interview with Dr. Bruce Lipton, and he mentioned a modality called Psych K, which changes the subconscious belief systems, and we can change the perception of stress. Because as he said, the environment within our bodies, our thoughts and our perception to things is actually the environment that our cells live in, and it creates our reality. So I started training in Psych K. I also am a Reiki master, and I do all kinds of other things. I'm a health coach and intuitive coach. So what I found is by combining all of those, I was able to not only change my son's life, he's the most amazing nearly 17-year-old now without a care in the world. I've changed my own, and then of course the ripple effect is I've helped my family and my friends and clients worldwide. So it's been quite an interesting journey.
Wow. I love the fact that you were able to come across a mentor a book, a process that could help you reframe where you were to where you really wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people who have been affected with cancer in their families automatically go into fear. They start believing this is going to happen to them. And that's what really will put them down on that path.
Absolutely.
And you harness the fact that no, that wasn't the case. Your life was going to be different, and you got total control of that. Now, if you were to go back to the younger you, when your parents were going through their struggle with their health, and have a conversation with that younger child, that younger woman, what 3 nuggets of wisdom would you give her based on what life has taught you so far?
Oh my goodness. The biggest nugget would be that just to spend time with my parents and actually spend time with them in their presence and not worrying so much about everything, and not, whilst there's a lot of grief and sadness, of course, actually cherish every single last moment that I had with them, every day, every night, everything. That would be my biggest thing, is not to worry about what may or may not be, just really, really be in the moment, because I would give anything for 1 hour, 1 minute, 1 day to have a conversation with either of them now. The next thing I would do would be to tell myself just to let things go, that the universe has got your back. Everything is how it is meant to be. Don't worry so much. Don't try and control everything, because that just causes extra stress that we don't need. The third thing is that, yes, I'm talking about control, but we have the ability to change the environment that we are in. We have a lot of ways that we can improve our lives, and we don't have to go down the path of what other people think you're going to do, and don't be overwhelmed by what's going on around you. So they're probably my biggest 3 things.
I love that. Yeah, a lot of times when we do get these so-called diagnoses, we do stop being present. We start thinking so far ahead, you don't actually take time to be with the person that you're supposed to be with. I think that's really beautiful advice. Now, you've harnessed all of this, and you're now helping other people. You're coaching other people. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
So whilst I am a Psych K facilitator, I have made it my own kind of modality to a certain degree, because I do incorporate my intuitive healing and the Reiki as well. So what I do with a client is that generally they'll come to me when they really need some help. So we will work on whatever's their main priority. So it could be a situation which would be, for example, a job loss or a relationship breakdown. It could be a condition, which is any kind of diagnosis or any issue with the physical body, or it could be a trauma, a recent trauma or something in the past. And I also work with people that have generational trauma as well. So it can be many, many generations ago. So what we do is we first of all look at transforming or changing the perception of stress around that situation, trauma or condition. So whilst we can't change the fact that something has happened or is happening, we can change how we respond to that. And that's a huge thing, because the stress level reduces and we can be more present. So I'll give you an example. Just say I've got a parent who's got a child that's not well. We can transform, or I can assist with transforming the perception of stress around how the parent feels about the child. That takes the stress levels down, in my experience. In the experience I've had with my clients, has been very successful. So what that means is that the parent is able to then be more present with the child, make better decisions, and rather than react, they're able to respond. So that's how I would work with those kind of priorities. And then, of course, we talk about and we look at balancing our core beliefs, our subconscious beliefs. So specifically the foundational beliefs of self-love, self-worth. So I love myself, I'm worthy of love, I deserve to be loved. You know, the big stuff, the big nuggets, forgiveness, self-acceptance. So I talk to that about as the foundation, I guess, of ourselves, because they're the big core beliefs. And if our foundation isn't solid, then the rest of our life can't be solid. So from then we transform those beliefs, and we can test them, and they're changed. They're instantly changed. So then the client will have less stress. They just will feel better, because every one of their 37 trillion cells have changed. And then they can go on with life, and a lot of the belief systems and blocks that were there previously are no longer there.
Wonderful. Wow. Now, if you could go into the future and have a conversation with the 120-year-old you, because you're probably going to live that long with all of these things that you've learned. What would you say to that woman based on how you're living your life?
Right now, I would say you have done exactly what you're here to do. You have helped so many people to achieve their goals and to take away the pain and suffering and to help people to be happy.
Wonderful. Kim, I look so forward to hearing you speak at the Herstory Online Summit this coming week. We're excited to hear more of your knowledge, your skills. Thank you for what you're doing in the world.
Oh, thank you, Gertrude. I can't wait till next week.
Thank you to everybody who tuned in today. Come back again tomorrow when I interview yet another amazing lady on this podcast, and have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world. Thank you again, Kim. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.